Steve Dotto here for LearnNowBC. It's time for us to start talking about Google. Google is the dominant player in the online space. Most of us have our Facebook account. We understand the social networking implications and tools that we can use within Facebook. But Google gives us a whole variety of other online tools, including cloud storage, email, calendaring apps, as well as Google is, of course, dominant in search. Now, Google wants to establish a relationship with each and every one of us, and that relationship has a bit of a quid pro quo. Google's going to give us some fantastic online tools, in return for which they want to be able to primarily advertise to us. They want to know what we're doing online, be able to research that, and be able to collect that data and then advertise back to us. Now, we might feel a little bit uncomfortable with that relationship, but in fact, it's not a lot different than the relationship we've historically had with our television broadcasters. They give us ostensibly free television and free entertainment, in return for which they give us advertising. They sell that advertising to different advertisers, and they market to those advertisers based on the demographics of the people that like the show. Google has pretty much the same sort of a business model, except a little bit more accurate as far as the demographics are concerned, where they can narrow in much more on our activities and who we are. Most of us are going to have our first contact with Google just by searching. It's become the term that people say, instead of searching on the internet, have you Googled that? So we go and use Google on an ongoing basis to search for information on the internet. Now, when you go to the Google page to do search, you can also sign up there for free services within Google. And most of us start with a Gmail account. But really, it's not a Gmail account. Once you sign up for a Google account, you gain access to all of the different tools within the Google Toolkit, including Gmail. And so let's take a look and see what some of those tools are. As soon as you sign up, you're going to be brought into a menu or your menu of your Google search page, or anytime you're in any of Google's properties, is going to change, and you're going to have a bar like this one here across the top. And these tells me the different services that I have access to. And this is a constantly changing group of services. As Google adds more functionality to their different online services, I gain different tools here as well. And all of us use some of these tools. Few of us use all of these tools, but also a few of us, I think, use the exact same mix of tools. Personally, I use quite a few of the tools. I use Gmail on an ongoing basis. I use the Google Calendar as my basic calendar. I use the contacts within Gmail as my main address book. So I use an awful lot of the Google tools, including I use Google Drive a lot, which we'll be talking about in a moment. But a quick look through these tools brings us to the first one, which has just got my name here. It's called Google+. This is Google's competitor to Facebook. It's their online social networking site, which is growing in popularity, probably not as fast as Google would like, but it gives you a different option of looking at a different way that social networking can happen. And it's certainly one that is reaching a certain user group. We'll look in detail at that at another video. Then, of course, we have Google Search, Google Images, which I'm not going to talk about right now, Google Maps, which of course we've all used for searching for things, Google Play, which is their online store for downloading Android apps, YouTube, which is of course for viewing online videos. Google, yes, owns YouTube. Google News, which gives you a nice delivery and a customizable delivery of news. But then we get into the tools that I want to talk about. Gmail, of course, which I'll do another video on using Gmail, how you sign up for your account. But it, for a lot of us, has become a good basic online email service, very feature-rich and very ubiquitous. In other words, we can access it from all of our computers, but it also translates very well into our mobility world, to our phones and to our tablets. Gmail has become, for a lot of us, the standard email client or email service that we use. Next up is Google Drive, which I am going to do a series of videos on as well as a part of this entire set. Google Drive used to be called Google Docs, and this was Google's foray into applications, into Office-type applications. Within Google Drive, we have the ability to create word processing documents, spreadsheets, presentations, create forms and do drawings, and store all of those documents on the internet. And the magic is we can share any of those documents with others so that we can work on collaborative documents together. Excellent educational tool, excellent. I use it all the time myself with my kids. My daughter's a better writer than I am, and I'm working on my master's, so she helps me by editing all of my papers. It's a real win-win situation. I simply write the document myself in Google Docs, share it with Steph. She's able to edit it, and I can actually even see her editing in real time. It's very cool. Also, we have as far as the online services coming from Google, the Google Calendar, which we're not going to go into in any detail in this particular series, but is a great tool because, again, very ubiquitous. It translates very nicely from our computer and our online interface to our phones, to our different devices, and we can share calendars with others. We can create multiple calendars. It's become a really great tool from that perspective. And as I said, Google also is constantly creating additional tools, and if we click under the more, we can see that they've got all sorts of additional features here under the more menu, and even more, they constantly keep adding new functionality to the entire Google universe of tools. There's no doubt that Google is becoming the dominant player in the online world, and we all are becoming increasingly reliant on Google for providing everything from our search to our email to our appointments and calendar. And there is a legitimate concern in being so reliant upon one provider, especially when that provider basically makes their money out of advertising to us instead of us paying them for the services. But I think that the best thing that we can do is we can learn to use these tools effectively, learn exactly what they do, and make sure that we handle them properly so that we're the ones in charge rather than Google being in charge of us. We do that by mastery. And the first step towards mastery is learning how to use all of the tools. That's what the series of videos is all about. On behalf of LearnNowBC, I'm Steve Dotto.